Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are quietly taking meetings to get involved with the BLM movement. I knew this would create a huge response. Either people would love it or people would hate it. Turns out they loved it. Okay, they love it. And they love it because Meghan Markle is associated with royalty. Okay, they can bring the royal shine to the BLM movement. Okay, they say Meghan and Harry are in talks. Where was Harry? Harry was not on that video. Okay, the other thing is I felt in listening to the speech the first time, my first reaction was it's wishy-washy. And here's the key quote that made me feel that it was wishy-washy. I wasn't sure what I could say to you, Meghan said in her speech. I wanted to say the right thing. And I was really nervous that I wouldn't, or that it would get picked apart, and I realized the only wrong thing to say is nothing. What did she say there? She actually said nothing. It's a whole bunch of word salad. And whenever anybody uses word salad, the red lights go off in my mind, and I'm like, okay, they're lying. So that phrase, it turns out, is the key phrase. Meghan Markle's speech was inspiring, but Twitter says it sounds too familiar. Why does it sound so familiar? Meghan's speech was profound, well delivered, and spoken with a perfectly timed dramatic pause afterward to allow the words to really sink in. But one line sounded a little familiar. At the beginning, okay, and so they go back over it. I wasn't sure what I could say to you. I wanted to say the right thing, and I was really nervous that I wouldn't, but I realized the only wrong thing to say is to say nothing. It was a performance. It was profound, well delivered, and spoken with a perfectly timed, dramatic pause afterwards to allow the words to sink in. But I want you to think about the words that were said there, that she actually really didn't say anything. It was just a bunch of words strung together. It was a bunch of feeling words. I immediately wondered who the inspiration for these words was. At first, it seemed Meghan had most likely written them herself. After all, it's common, if not universal practice, when using a quote or taking inspiration from something someone said in the past, to at least acknowledge it. But it didn't take long for Twitter to uncover the truth. This is the world we live in. Okay, you are gonna get caught if you plagiarize, if you quote from somebody, if you steal something, if you say, I paid for all my college, in Fiji, you're gonna be found out. You're petrified of saying too much or saying it wrong, when the truth is the only wrong thing you can say is nothing at all. But literally, she said nothing at all. Of course, Meghan didn't rip off this quote entirely, but it certainly looks like she may have drawn inspiration from it. Where did she get it? Okay, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Eleanor Roosevelt, Dr. Martin Luther King? No, Dr. Jackson Avery of Grey's Anatomy. And this is his quote: we're petrified of saying too much or saying it wrong, when the truth is the only wrong thing you can say is nothing at all. So, gosh, did she, that's the phrase that stuck out to me. Did she just rip off that phrase? It appears so. Good day, YouTubers. Welcome back to my channel. We're petrified of saying too much or saying it wrong, when the truth is the only wrong thing you can say is nothing at all. Dr. Jackson Avery, Grey's Anatomy. Just word salad. So that was a performance. She hung it around, she hung her speech around that phrase. I knew that she would get a response. I knew that Meghan would get a big response. Again, where was Harry? Harry and Meghan are talking to BLM leadership. Where was Harry? The whole thing is just odd. So is Meghan Markle in meetings with BLM? And then I'll look at, will Harry be involved? Because Harry was not on that video and he needed to be on that video. So is Meghan Markle in meetings with BLM? I believe she probably is. Let's just see what the cards want to tell us. Is Meghan Markle in meetings with the BLM? Yep. There's upside down. That's interesting. Because they're either going to love or hate her video. I actually thought that there would be a big response on Twitter saying, well, gosh, she didn't say anything. But that's not the case, because they want, Meghan has a name, and that name is a royal name until she divorces Harry, and then we'll have to see. Or if there's a big enough scandal to really mess her up, she has that royal name. And that's what they want. They want the stamp of royalty. That's what they're looking for. So is Meghan in meetings with the BLM? Cross, permanent family, yes. Olive tree, very deeply rooted, wow. They really want what she's got. 1322 for all the people. This just completely legitimizes the BLM movement. By bringing someone like Meghan in, she has a name. It really, really legitimizes their movement, okay, and all the violence and craziness. It's just a very powerful name. It's like getting a huge celebrity, which is exactly what they're doing. So, and she's the right kind of celebrity. What's behind? Roses reversed. This is the only card that came out reversed. I don't shuffle my cards reversed. So roses is something sweet. It's something that appears sweet but is not. Okay, what do they want? They want the abolishment of the police. If you remove the police from any city for just a month, everything will just go insane. You have to have police. You have to have the police to be just and non-discriminatory, but you have to have the police. It's absurd. It's like children, they want to burn the house down. It looks sweet, but it's the opposite. It looks like what they want is sweet, but it's the opposite. Broken chalice, division. It's all about dividing everybody, dividing people by race lines, by Republican and Democrat, by ideology. They're dividing everybody, and that's what they want. In the outcome, 2 hearts, 4 spades, coffin, cornucopia, everything material, all the people, and executioner, violence by all the people on everything. Or powerful, very powerful energy. Executioner can be, wow, this is crazy. Executioner can be, I have some incense going, and man, I don't like that. It's too much. Executioner is a very powerful energy. All the people committing violent acts on everything, and the death of unity. And wow. Okay, so great violence. The outcome of this is great division and great violence. And this roses reversed is very interesting. It's like virtue signaling. Virtue signaling is very sweet. Oh, we're so special, but it's the opposite. Virtue signaling is really, it's always the opposite. It's always division, it's always bigotry, it's always sexism. And it appears, they say, like Antifa, anti-fascists. They're the ultimate fascists, but their name is Antifa. That's three hearts reversed. Okay, they're exactly the opposite of what they say they are. Okay, it's like we're going to have a peaceful protest, and then they, burn down Amazon and loot the Nike store. What does that have to do with protesting? It has nothing to do, and it's not a peaceful protest. let's look at Meghan Markle and Harry in leadership, leaders in the BLM movement, because where's Harry in this? Harry was not present with Meghan. So let's look at Meghan and Harry. Does Harry have any part in this? Because really they want Harry, because Harry's the royal, and Meghan married into royalty, and she's only royal through Harry. And as long as she sticks with Harry, as you know, and I've been saying all along, Harry needs to let go and go back to the royal family. And there's talk that he wants to go back for 2 months, and we're going to look at that in another reading. But Meghan Markle and Harry as leaders in the BLM movement. Meghan Markle. Goodness gracious, Harry. This is a fallout. Okay, Meghan Markle and Harry. Harry, we have cup overflowing, very emotional, 2230, 8 diamonds, money, Mother Earth, very emotional about this situation, and discrimination. Very emotional about this situation and discrimination. So Harry is really invested. Again, it's just so strange that he wasn't on that video call. It's just really weird. And it's also weird that Archie was not on that video call. And I conclude that Harry was not physically there and Archie is not physically there. Or both of them would have been on that video call, obviously. They need to be on that video call, especially Harry. And Archie needs to be on that video call. Okay, either Meghan is just really dumb and she doesn't know how valuable Archie's sightings are, and she's not dumb. Or she simply doesn't have Archie. She doesn't have Archie, okay? And she doesn't have Harry around. She's completely alone. And she doesn't have her staff around. I don't think she even has any staff, but I don't know. She could have some staff. So she's got to have security. What's over here on Meghan's side? No, roadblock, 2 blockage cards and a decision. 19, 5 clubs, 5, 5, 5. Change, 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 change. She feels completely stuck and she's taking a different road. Interesting. So she is looking very seriously at this because the acting's not working out. The foundation, they really screwed up with the Archwell coming out. This is a great avenue for her. She's feeling, it's interesting how stuck she's feeling. She's feeling absolutely stuck. Harry is feeling that he's very emotionally involved in these issues. And this is something that he wants to promote, but he wasn't on the video. Meghan, in a more calculated manner, is feeling very stuck. Her Hollywood thing is not working out. The foundation's not working out. They might go to New York, which is more foundation work. She could also go into Broadway, which is a great option for her. But so she's looking at this as another way. She's going to find a way. She's really trying to find a way. And here's another 5. We have 4 5s. 5, 5. This adds 5 clubs and 5. 4 5s. All change. She's looking at anything. Player is business and money. 16, 4 spades. So she's looking at whatever she can do. How can she advance herself financially in the world? And it's very, very difficult. So this is Meghan looking at how she can advance herself. Harry is actually quite passionate about these issues, and he really does want to say something, and it's just so odd that he wasn't there and didn't say anything. Did Meghan Markle intentionally plagiarize this quote? Did she hang her speech? It really felt to me like she hung her speech around this quote. And when I heard her say these words, I thought, wow, she's so wishy-washy, and it just took so long for this to come out of her mouth. She wasted so much of my time, saying these silly words that mean nothing. And that was the heart and soul of her speech, was, cribbing from Grey's Anatomy, fake Dr. Jackson Avery, I don't know his real name. They told his real name. Okay, shuffling the tongues. I'm tempted to start shuffling the other way. Okay, so did Meghan intentionally plagiarize this from Grey's Anatomy? 10 spades, 6 spades. Wow. Okay, earthquake, incubus, succubus, butterfly, very public, selfish, and like 16 4 spades hidden. Yeah, this is just a very bad ending, plagiarized publicly. Very bad ending to the, she's been caught secretly plagiarizing this. So that's right on the surface. She's been caught again secretly plagiarizing, and this is very bad for her. Underneath, home, 2 diamonds and 3 blackbirds. Talking, commitment to people close to her, 6 and 9, 3 hearts. Underneath, she really wants to associate herself with the BLM movement, and she's committed to it. And she wants to be someone who talks for it. But on the surface, right on the surface, she's caught plagiarizing again, which is bad for her. So that's going to chip away at her reputation again. Again and again, she just keeps chipping away at her reputation. And her reputation is as a royal. But she's caught. Right on the surface, she's caught plagiarizing. But underneath, she actually does want to be involved. She wants to associate herself. 4 hearts. People close to you, people closely associated with you, family. She wants to be like family with the people in the BLM movement. That's who she sees herself as. Will we see Meghan Markle at the head of a BLM rally? Because this time is passing. I think the violence is almost past. It should be past by now. The mayor of Washington just kicked out all the National Guard. They had, of course, they were put up in hotel rooms in Washington, D.C., where I'm from. And so the mayor kicked all the National Guard people out from Utah, because I guess the Utah National Guard was called in to Washington, D.C. So they had no place to stay last night because they were going to stop the violence. You have to stop the violence. There's nothing wrong with protesting. We have a right to assembly and protest, okay? But you don't have the right to see your mother, okay, with the bug crisis. But you have the right to mingle with thousands of people, and there must be no problem with that. So will we see Meghan Markle at the head of a BLM protest in the next couple of days? Because her window's closing. Her window is almost closed. Trinity reversed. So we're getting some reversed cards today. That's interesting. Are we going to see Meghan Markle at the head of a protest? Fox, Trinity reversed, straight razor, 12 and 4, 16, 4 spades. Not working together, very independent, a single independent act and not working together. Very unorganized. I think she may show up on her own. The Fox is very independent and she may be acting alone. She may show up to one of these BLM rallies alone. I mean, she's a citizen. She can show up. She can wear a mask. Jake Paul was caught inside a mall with looters. I don't think he looted anything. I think he was there filming with his crew, being in the cool spot. Okay, that's something that Jake Paul would do, and he was arrested. So Meghan may just show up on her own, which is actually a good move, whether you like what they're doing or not. If she wants to be involved in the movement, she needs to show that she's part of it and just simply show up. And she'll make a splash. Oh, I'm Meghan Markle, and everybody will be excited. What's underneath? Mercury, Mustard Seed City, communicating message to the world. 9 and 9, 18, 5 diamonds. So this is the protests. This is the rallies. I think she may show up on her own. She may show up on her own. Yeah. And this actually makes me wonder if the Gilets Jaunes, the yellow vests, are still protesting in France, over all of the oppression by Macron and their socialist government. Okay, let's review. All right, is Meghan in meetings with the BLM? They want the solidity of the name of the royal family. They really, really want it. And what I think is they actually, Harry really carries that a lot more than Meghan. They may not want Meghan without Harry, okay? And I think they're not together. So virtue signaling, dividing everyone, and just destroying everything. So they definitely want Meghan. They definitely want the royal name. They want the association of the royal name. Just exactly the same way they wanted Chelsea Clinton. She brings the Clinton name, and I think she was also arrested during one of these protests. And I'm not sure what was being protested when she was arrested. But they love that. That brings legitimacy to their cause. So they definitely want Meghan. They love it. Okay, Meghan and Harry. For Meghan, are they going to be leaders in the BLM? Harry is actually showing a lot of emotional attachment to this movement. He's very passionate about this, which is good. He's very passionate about this. Meghan is just looking for any way she possibly can to become wealthy and famous. Okay, all the fives. It's just 5, 5, 5. She's willing to try whatever she needs to try to become wealthy and famous. Harry is actually very passionate about this. Okay, and that's where he comes from. He doesn't need money. It's absurd for Harry to go be a celebrity in Hollywood so he can make more money. It's completely absurd. And that's why it just seems this is obviously what Meghan wants. What Meghan wants, Meghan gets. Did she plagiarize this quote from Grey's Anatomy? Absolutely, and she's caught, and this is just another ding on her record. But she really wants to be closely associated. This is her brand now. Her brand is, she's the diversity duchess, and she's behind the cause of minorities. Okay, and that's what minorities and women and abortion, that's what she does. Okay, so are we going to see Meghan at the head of the protest, and I thought in an organized way? Absolutely not. They're not going to maybe there's not time. She needs to just show up on her own. So I think there's maybe no clear leaders in the BLM movement. Okay, like Martin Luther King was the leader of the movement in the 60s. I don't know what that movement was called, the whatever. Okay, but there's no clear leader of this BLM movement. It's a very disaggregated. There are leaders. There's these two women who made a website, but that's as far as they've gotten, and I've never seen them on camera anywhere. So they just made a website and then coined the phrase, the BLM phrase, and then it went around the Twitter sphere, the social media sphere. So, yeah. So they really want Meghan, and I think that she really wants them. We'll just have to see. If she shows up independently, that's the move to make. So if she's watching this video, Meghan, you just need to show up to the next rally in LA. That's how I see it. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination, Fortune Telling, The Magi Method. Find the book worldwide on Amazon and Kindle and paperback versions. Find the full color card deck, currently out of stock, on Etsy. Many thanks to the generous folks who have bought me a cup of tea. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, and